Welcome back to another episode of Fuel in the Flame. I'm your host, Mason Miller, and today we're joined by the Carthage softball team with Gwen and Izzy. Thanks for joining the show, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's start with Izzy Hernandez. She's a graduate student. She plays first base from Aurora, Illinois, attended Aurora Central Catholic High School. She's a 5-year starter, which is pretty impressive, appearing in over 160 games, believe it or not.
Didn't know that.
That's crazy. I know that's a lot of games.
Yeah.
Career stats, she's got a .339 batting average, 164 hits, 111 RBIs, and 9 home runs for her career. And this season, she's actually on pace for her highest batting average at .420.
Right on. Yeah. Perfect.
She's also racked up a ton of awards, first team all-conference, CSC Academic All-District, and Academic All-Conference. So we got a really good stud here on the show today. And then we have Gwen, who's a junior outfielder from Appleton, Wisconsin, went to Appleton East High School, and is also a 3-year starter, appearing in over 95 games. That would have been crazy. Career stats, .388 batting average, 113 hits, 75 RBIs. And she's off to, it's safe to say, a sensational start to the season. CCIW leader in doubles, second in hits, second in RBIs, second in batting average. And you have a .517 batting average, which is like way higher than the previous season. So you're off to a really good start. 14 doubles, which is amazing. And I think many of those stats are top 10 in the whole nation, so I don't know if you're aware about that. But
yeah, I was actually just made aware of that yesterday.
So you're killing it this year, which is awesome, and then you've also racked up a first-team all-conference membership. So we have two really good athletes on the show today, which is always exciting. As far as the team, you guys are 18-8, tied for first in the CCIW last time I checked, right?
Exactly.
And then most recently you split with Wheaton, split with Augie, and then swept North Central. So brief intro for everybody, but can you guys kind of just give a brief summary of where you're at with the season, what's been going on, and where you guys at?
Yeah, I mean, overall season I think has been going really well. We got off to a really hot start down in Florida. Mm-hmm. It was a very successful run for us. We played some ranked teams while we were down there and competed really well, and I think that kind of set the tone for us going into, coming back to Wisconsin and starting to play here. So our non-conference games went really well, and getting into conference has been a change in pace a little bit. I think that a lot of us forgot just how good the competition is in conference, so I think we were off to kind of a rocky start there, but I'm pretty sure we're starting to really figure things out and solidify things as a team.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're picking it up now, too, and also we were kind of we started off hot and then we had that little break, but besides that, I feel like we've just been playing for each other more now and, kind of all clicking as a team since Florida, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say this is one of your better starts in previous seasons?
Absolutely.
Probably the best start I've ever
Absolutely.
had.
Wow, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So one thing that was really interesting when I started looking at your schedule, you mentioned that Florida trip. You guys played 12 games in about a week.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's even more than what you play in summer league tournaments, I feel like. So you went 8-4, which is really good. So I'm just curious, what was that like, just jumping into being off season to 12 games within a week? That's a pretty intensive jump into playing. So what was that like going down to Florida and playing all those games right away?
It's brutal. I'm not even going to lie.
I imagine,
It's tough on the body. It's tough mentally, especially, thank God we had an off day, kind of in the middle there this year. Last year we didn't, and we
really?
felt that, for sure.
Gosh.
But, no, I mean, it definitely prepares you in a way that you, wouldn't expect because, you have no choice but to just kind of, grind out that week. And, yeah, it's definitely a very, hot start to the year, especially practicing outside in the cold 30-degree weather, and then we go to Florida and we play in the beautiful sunny weather, and then we come back here and it's freezing again. It's definitely a mindset shift, but I don't know, I enjoy it. I enjoy getting those reps in before we come back here and start our actual conference season.
For sure.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I kind of see it as a travel ball tournament. So, I feel like I'm 10 years old playing out there. It's just fun for me.
Yeah.
But this year, my body definitely felt it with those games. Oof, fifth year is hard. I don't know how people do it.
Just doing those 5 seasons. I mean, it's literally eat, sleep, play softball, repeat for that week.
That's, yes.
It's a job.
We are put to work there. I'm not even going to lie to you.
So when it's, what was it, 2 games a day?
Yeah.
And it's a different team each.
Yep.
So 2 teams a day.
Yeah.
So then, after, let's say you play 2 games, what does that night look like? Do you have like any recovery process? Do you guys get a team meal? What does the in-between games look like where you're trying to at least get some recovery? But
yeah, I mean, like, we usually get food as a team. Some people go off with their parents, but, you know, really the one thing our coach harps is, like, do not do anything that is going to cost you any extra energy. Like, if we have afternoon games in a day, like, we're not sitting out by the pool, we're not being outside in the sun, you know?
Yeah.
So it really does, like, it feels like a business trip to a certain extent, because it really is just like, once we're done for the day, like, you are relaxing, you're sitting in the hotel room. You know, my room usually has HGTV on after like 6 p.m. So yeah, it's very much like business. We're there to play, we're there to have success, but it's fun still, like, being with the team.
It's a little disappointing you can't go out and go to the beach or whatever.
Right.
But I get it.
Yeah.
But
like, it was nice, again, with the off day this year, like, a couple of us, you know, found the ocean a couple hours away. I think a couple people did, like, the Disney Springs run, but yeah,
cool.
Other than that, it's very much just softball.
Okay, awesome. So usually when I talk about trips, I've had a lot of people on, and they mention their trips, and I always ask people, what was your takeaway as a team? Because usually when we have our trips, we went down to Tennessee this year, and we felt like we learned a lot about ourselves as a team. And obviously at the start of the year, you're learning a ton about yourself right away. So what would you say was something that you learned about your team, and maybe yourself as well?
I guess for me, something that I realized was, I feel like this team, I mean, I've been here a minute, but this team, I finally feel like something special, and I'm, like, excited to be out there with everyone. Like, we all click and we all get along, and it's been, like, I mean, obviously I've gotten along with previous teammates and stuff, but, like, as a whole, like, there's not really any, like, cattiness or drama. Like, everyone kind of just clicks as a group, which is really cool to see. And, you know, I don't know, all the freshmen, too, are very outgoing, which is kind of different, but it's fun. I like that, yeah.
I was just going to give a shout-out to our freshmen, too, because we, like, seriously are so blessed with the group that we have this year.
Awesome.
Like, they kind of, like, came in immediately, just, like, gelled so well with everyone, and I'm, like, so happy that we've gotten a few of them, like, out of their shell. Maybe a little bit too much out of their shell, but they're awesome. Like, it's so great, and, again, like what she said, like, I feel like we just have a really good team dynamic going, and it's been really cool. I really feel like everyone that's, like, out there and, like, putting the work in on the field, like, wants to compete, wants to have success, and that's just, like, you know, obviously every team that I've been on, you know, you hope to win, you want to have success, but it just, like, it feels different out on the field this year. I feel like everyone's really, like, playing for each other this year, and again, I feel like it's only aided by, like, having that dynamic, like, both on and off the field.
Yeah, the things you're saying are definitely keys to having a good team, and it's definitely showing with the record. And what a better way to bond quickly than go down to Florida for a week and just grind through some games and go 8-4, which is awesome.
Right. Be put to work.
Yeah, for sure. So another thing, just outside of that schedule, in general, you guys have been on the road a ton, like 90% of your games. You've only had 2 home games out of however many, what is that, like 26 or so? So you guys are really road warriors this year, which is insane, thinking about playing all these games on the road, only 2 at home so far, and being 18-8. So I guess, what do you think are some of the keys to finding so much success on the road so far?
I feel like for me, like, I personally like having more away games just because, like, on the bus, like, the bus rides and, you know, like, the pregame stuff, but I feel like it kind of gives us more of, like, a schedule throughout the day, kind of, like, at least at home.
Yeah, what do you mean by
it's like, so, like, we have to be at the bus at a certain time, and then we, like, go and we take the bus, and then usually we'll stop for food for lunch or, like, breakfast, depending where we're playing at. And then we get there, we warm up, play our games, and then we come back and it's dinner. And, like, I know the exact process, but, like, here at home, not that it's worse, but, like, it's kind of, like, more chaotic, I feel like, in my opinion. I don't know.
I both, like, agree and disagree with that. I love playing at home because it gives me more time to kind of just, like, relax throughout the beginning part of my day. Like, I feel like when we have away games, I'm just so on edge the whole day, like, leading up to it. So we feel very different about that. But, like, it's been interesting. Like, I feel like it hasn't really, like, had that much of an effect on us to be away. And I can't really, like, pinpoint what it would be other than the fact that, like, we just don't give it much thought. Like, it's like a game's a game at this point. Like, and maybe Florida helps with that too, where it's like, you know, we weren't playing on our home field for that whole week that we were in Florida, so it hasn't been much different, you know, whether it's in 80-degree Florida weather or, you know, 30-degree Illinois or Wisconsin weather. But I don't know, like, I think that we just try not to focus too much on that and focus on the things that we can control in the game, which, you know, is different.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you can't control your schedule, right?
Right.
You're given the
Right.
schedule, you just got to make do with what you have, right?
Yeah. It has been interesting, too. We've now had, like, multiple games that have been played, like, not on the team's actual home field because
Really?
of different, like, weather
Really?
conditions. Yeah, when we played Beloit, we were on some, like, random field at this, like, random park. Not even
Are
in
you serious?
Beloit. They, like,
What?
yeah, it was so
Oh,
odd.
no.
It was a little dingy, too. Like, they had, like, the temporary fences set up, and they, like, didn't
Oh,
even reach the foul poles. They didn't have foul lines in the outfield. There were, like, rocks in the outfield. It was definitely interesting. But again, like, it was just kind of like, well, can't do anything about this now. We're just going to go play some softball.
You just embrace it and just go,
Yeah.
let's go
Yeah.
play, right?
And then
Okay.
same thing with Augie with the rain. We played at this, like, other random park field. That one was a little bit nicer, though. I'll give him that.
Is that rocks in the field?
Yeah, there weren't stones
Yeah,
out in the
Oh, I would be
field.
scared to like roll an ankle or dive for a ball and land
Oh,
on a
yeah.
rock and just get caught
I-
or something crazy.
I got into this, like, huge, like, bickering match with one of our freshman outfielders because I was talking about, like, I was like, oh, my God, this field is, like, kind of crazy. Like, there's, like, rocks in the outfield. She goes, I don't think it's that bad. I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, well, I mean, my high school field had rocks. And I was like, just because you're used to this doesn't make it good or normal.
Oh gosh, I feel bad for her if that's her normal.
Right.
field that
I was
she's
like,
playing
if
on.
that's your expectation, the
brutal.
bar is really low.
So having spent so much time on the road this season, are there any behind the scenes stories that you guys have about any traveling moments that you feel like you might want to share? That'd be a good insight to the team and what you guys are like as culturally and.
Well, I mean, one of our freshmen, her name's Anais, I'll give her a shout out, but she was literally crawling. She sits in, like, the back seat of the bus, farthest
Okay.
one, right? And she was crawling, and she was taking people's, like, slides off their feet. And, like, literally, like, she did it for, like, probably, like, 20 minutes, and I was like, what are you doing? But it was so funny, and in the moment, like, we were egging her on. We had to, but, yeah, that's just one example.
It's been so
Yeah.
interesting because you can, like, tell the different dynamics from, like,
gosh.
one end of the bus to the other
Yeah.
because, like, the whole back of the bus, you don't want to be involved with whatever they're doing because you
Okay.
know it's not good.
Okay.
Like, they're like yapping each other's ears off. They're up to something. Like, they're gonna, like, mess with you
I sit
if you
back
even,
there,
like,
yeah.
look at them wrong. Like, they're in their own little world. And then, you know, you got the people in, like, the front that are just, like, you know, they got their headphones on. They're, like,
They're more relaxed.
you know, looking
yeah.
out the window. And then you kind of got the in-between.
Then you got
which
the
is-
slide stealer crawling.
Yeah,
up.
and then you got Anais in the aisle going through. Yeah, it has been fun. One of our other freshmen, Trinity, her mom has, like, supplied us with DVDs for, like, the longer bus rides.
Yeah.
So we've been watching, like, Happy Gilmore, Grown Ups, Mall
Okay.
Cop, like, all of these different, like, random movies. I think the most recent one was, like, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I
Okay.
was like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is... Yeah, it's definitely interesting, but I don't know. I think it's funny. You can really tell, like, the difference in team dynamics from, like, the front to the back of the bus.
Well,
Oh
the
my
front's also
God.
closer to coach, so.
That's
You
true.
know.
You can't get away with
That's
nearly
fair.
as much.
Did she try to steal the coach's shoes?
No, she didn't get that far down.
No, but Kelly did get to braid Coach's hair the other day.
Yeah.
We've
Wow.
never tried it, but Kelly's, like, our, like, designated team hair braider, and we, like, joked about it with her. We were like, Kelly, you should ask Coach. Like, you should ask Coach if you can do her hair. And Kelly's like, she'll never go for it. And, like, all of a sudden, Coach's like, yeah, sure, hun. So all of a sudden, you just see Kelly up at the front of the bus, like, braiding Coach's hair.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Never thought I'd see something like that in my life.
Well, it sounds like you guys have a ton of fun on the
yeah.
bus, which is
We keep ourselves entertained, for
good.
sure.
Okay. I mean, you need that when you're traveling so far.
Right.
So, next, I think we can't go an episode covering the team without talking about one of your players who's having one of the greatest careers in Carthage history, probably, and in Claire. So, I'll give her a brief introduction to people watching. Claire's a junior. She's also from Alton. I believe you guys played in high school together, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. CCIW Offensive Player of the Year, NFCA All-Region Honors, NFCA All-American Honors. She recently broke 2 school records this year with hits at 179 and counting, stolen bases at 58 and counting. She had a 32-game hitting streak, which is, I mean, mind-blowing. Like, this is
Yeah.
stuff that
Yeah.
you don't see,
Right.
like, ever. So,
No.
could you guys kind of talk about just Claire as a player, because she's obviously had a lot of success at this level?
She is seriously just, like, a freak of nature. I don't even know where she came from, but, like, I've forever been her biggest fan. I grew up playing with her from the time that we were, like, 8 years old through now college,
Yeah.
which has been awesome to see her like grow as a player and obviously like find so much success. Like seriously, she's like collecting school records like Pokemon cards at this point. It's insane. Yeah. But like I have seriously been like her biggest fan throughout her entire softball career. I think she's an awesome athlete. She was a 3-sport athlete in high school too. Like she played basketball and volleyball, and I think she could have played in college for any of the 3. Yeah.
Wow.
She's just insane.
I mean, for me, honestly, she is just, like, so fun to play with. Like, she's awesome.
I mean, I'm sure she's...
Yeah, and it's, like, crazy. Like, I'm like, if Claire's on base, I'm like, we're winning. Like, every time, I'm like, we got it. Like, in the bag. It's just so cool. And her personality, too, like, she's, like, quiet. I mean, she's starting to get a little bit more out of her shell now, finally. I mean, it took, like, 3 years. But she's, like, so... I don't even know how to explain her. It's just, like... She's like 1 in a million, and I'm just like honored to be on the field with her.
Yeah. She's one of those people that's like she's just as awesome like on the field as she is off the field, and like is so fun to be around. And she's one of those people where like if someone were to tell me like that they had an issue with her, I'd wonder more about their character than her character, because I'd be like, wait, so like what did you do to her? Like what's wrong with you? So like she's just like. You can't help but, like, love her. Like, she's awesome, and, like, she's so supportive. I feel like she's really one of, like, the, like, more silent leaders on the team where, like, she's not going to be in your face, like, telling you what to do, telling you where to go, like, whatever. But, like, you can always look to her for, like, guidance and support.
That's good, yeah.
And she just shows up and works. Like, it's awesome, but she has a lot of fun with it. I think it's really cool because I feel like her mindset is very much, like, softball is her for fun thing. Like, she doesn't, like, see it as, like, a job or, like, a burden. Like, it's just something, you know, she's enjoyed and she's now, like, continuing to do because she wants to. And I feel like that's a mindset that more people should hold about, like, especially D3 athletics, where it's like, you know, this is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to, you know, enjoy it and, you know, enjoy the process of it. And I feel like she really does, like, enjoy the process of it.
Absolutely. And when, you know, your best player's hardest worker, great leader, great person off the field. I think that's the key to being a good team eventually, culturally wise. Just you have someone to follow that you also believe in, you trust, and
absolutely.
Sounds like you need to get her towards the back of the bus a little bit more to get her open up.
Oh my god,
get her back there.
She sits right in front of me most of the time, and she's always got her AirPods in, and I'll try and like get her attention, and she's just like in her own little world. I'm like, Claire, come on, like. So we try our best, but no, she's great to have on the team. Obviously, not only her personality, but she's never made an out like ever.
No, that's crazy. Love that girl.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, in your opinion, what do you think is, you kind of talked about it a little bit, just about the team bonding and being so close this year and having such a positive mindset with traveling on the road. What else do you think is unique about this team? What are the team's strengths as far as, I guess, playing on the field, tactically? What are some of the team's strengths this year?
I mean, I would definitely say our hitting has been, like, one of the keys for us. It's been awesome. Like, we've had quite a few, like, higher scoring games than I feel like we have in the past. Like, and I think the difference is we start scoring early on in games and we continue to add on throughout games, which is something that I feel like we didn't utilize as well in past seasons, where, like, you know, we would get ahead, but then, you know, we would have like a 5-inning stretch where we would go scoreless, and then like all of a sudden we were like, oh shoot, 7th inning, we should probably add on a few. But like this year I feel like we've been much more consistent with our hitting, and I think our approaches at the plate have been much better too. Like going in, expecting to hit, like being aggressive about like attacking like good pitches and stuff like that. So I definitely would say that hitting has been a strong suit of ours this year.
Yeah, I'd say hitting too. I was thinking hitting, but also like I feel like our pitching staff this year, like, I mean, Maddie, but even all the freshmen, like, all the freshman pitchers, too, like, they've all been kind of doing their work, too, behind the scenes, and everyone, like, throwing, like, the best that they, like, should be. I don't even know if that makes sense. But, like, the way they're pitching in games is, like, huge. Like, they get us out of big situations, like, big strikeouts and stuff, so, like, little ground balls that are easy for us to field out there. So, pitching staff and our hitting, I think, too.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch a lot of softball this summer just because I was working with a baseball and a softball team this summer. And what I noticed was that was very different about softball. If you have a really good pitcher, they can go the whole game and they can just dominate the whole game. So when you mentioned like pitchers and they're pitching well, when they pitch that whole game, like what is the impact a pitcher can have on a game as far as like good and bad?
Oh my gosh, that is one thing that's so different about like softball, where it's like, yeah, you can have one pitcher like pitch both games of a doubleheader.
Really?
Like,
Both games?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
just, like, for North Central this past week, we had Olivia pitch all 14 innings of,
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
both games. And, like, you know, it's one of those things where if the other team hasn't built an approach off of her, hasn't found success, like, you keep her going, like, you know, until they figure it out.
Yeah.
And they never did. So, you know, it's really more about, like, how long they can be effective for versus, like, how long
Okay.
their arm will let them. Just because it's not as taxing on their body
Sure.
in terms of, like, the pitching motion itself than it is, like, you know, with baseball where it's, like, you're worried about their shoulder, like, they're on a pitch count. We don't have any of that. So it's definitely, it's different. But, you know, there's a lot of trust that goes into it, too. Like, trusting that your pitcher is going to put your defense in the position to have success and, you know, like, create bad contact, you know, get yourself into good situations to make outs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have you guys had your time at pitching before? Have you guys had your time in the circle at all?
I pitched.
I'm telling
Yeah.
Izzy to get back out there.
Wait, you pitched?
I started off as a pitcher, and I came to Carthage, and I pitched here, and I was horrible. I hated it. I don't know
Okay.
what happened, if I got the yips or what. But my sophomore year, I would throw it, like, during J term, like, the bullpens, I was hitting, like, my teammates and stuff, and I just looked at Coach, I was like, dude, I'm done. Like, I'll play first, but I was like, I don't want to pitch anymore. So, I mean, if the situation were to happen, I could probably go back in there, but I think I'd get robbed.
They need a wild card relief pitcher.
Yeah.
Someone who's
I
not on the
think
scouting
MLB.
report. Just
Yeah.
throw them out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'd be the position player that goes in and
Yeah.
just, like, rocks it. Like,
I don't know. But I was one. It was a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you found your shot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I pitched in high school, but never in college, and I didn't even like it in high school.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I think
Yeah.
it was about my sophomore year that I was like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, I didn't like being, like, the center of attention. I didn't
Yeah.
like being involved in, like, every single play. But it is very different now, like, being in left field where, like, I might not touch a ball all game, and, like, I'm just like, okay. But no, pitching was not it. But I definitely tip my cap to, like, our pitchers.
Mhm.
That is a role I would not want to be in, and
Yeah.
it's stressful.
There's a lot of pressure and stress that goes with it because the team relies on you a ton. So
Yeah, and, like, you are such a leader regardless of if you want to be or not, because, like, everyone's looking at you
Yeah.
for, like, you
Yeah.
know, if things are going well, if things aren't going well, like, you need to be very, like, even keeled.
Mhm. For sure. My next question was, are there any particular moments just from the season so far that kind of summarizes what the team is all about? Like any specific plays or maybe comeback wins or things that so far the season that kind of, that's Carthage softball right there. That's what we do.
I would say, like, most recently at least has been, like, both of our North Central games. Like, I feel like that really, like, embodied our team. Like, first of all, like, putting up, you know, 8 and 9 runs respectively
Yeah.
in both games. Like, that, like, goes to show how strong our offense has been. Like, it was a really awesome moment, actually. I can't remember which game it was, but at one point we had bases loaded, 2 outs, and our freshman right fielder, Addie, came up to the plate. And, like, I don't know how to describe it, but I just, like, knew she was going to get a hit in that moment. And, like, I've been waiting for her to kind of have her, like, breakout moment all
sure,
season.
yeah.
And she just, like, roped one down the right field line, base clearing triple, like, and it
Hell
was
yeah.
such an awesome moment. Like, I was
that's
just
cool.
sitting there and I was like, I knew it. Like, I called it.
Yeah.
Like, she, like, that's one thing that, like, I feel like the upperclassmen have been really trying to, like, instill is just, like, confidence in our younger players. Like, especially, like, the few freshmen that have, like, found their starting roles on the team, like, just pushing so much confidence in them of,
Yeah.
like, you can do this, like, you're out there for a reason. And I feel like that was one moment where I was like, okay, like, she found her role. She's got it. Like, she's good.
Yeah. I think for me is we were in Florida and it was like towards the end, but we beat a ranked team. And honestly, it's the first time since I've been here that we beat a ranked team in Florida. And like we actually had like a winning record. Like
That's
usually
awesome.
we're like, you know, like it's like half and half or whatever. Like we'll be like 5-5 or 6-6, you know, split every day. But when we beat that ranked team, I was like, I had a good feeling, and I was like, this might be, this is it.
I would say, like, not only beating a ranked team in Florida, but it was our last day of games. Yeah. And, like, bodies were tired. Like, we were hurt. Like, you really feel it by the end of that trip there. And I feel like sometimes, like, in years past, we've kind of, like, lost steam those past couple of days. But, like, I think having that big win, like, on that last day really, like, went to show, like, how badly we want to compete this year and, like, how much, like, we all, like, want it. Yeah, and, like, we'll work for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was cool.
Sweet. Okay. So, good luck with the rest of the season, but we're gonna talk about you guys personally.
All right.
All right. So, a question I always love to ask is, what inspired you guys to play softball? As a little girl, you're like, man, I want to play softball.
Yeah.
Any inspirations that people that maybe inspired you to play softball, or just what's your story to?
I mean, like, I never really had a choice growing up. I was, like, one of those kids where I was thrown into, like, every sport imaginable. Yeah. My dad just was kind of like, we're going to put you in stuff until something sticks. Mm-hmm. But I do think he really pushed softball for me because he, like, has played baseball his entire life. He still plays baseball. He actually went here for baseball. Not the reason I came here, but he played here.
There's a connection, okay.
Yeah, there's a loose connection to Carthage. But no, like, he definitely, like, pushed softball very heavily for me, and, like, I think he's very thankful that it stuck. I love it, and I've, like, really fell in love with the process of it. But no, like, we're a huge baseball, softball family with me. I have 3 younger siblings, and they all played softball and baseball, too. So my mom's always like, where did you guys all come from? Like, she was like basketball, volleyball. So she's like the one outlier. But yeah, my whole family is very, very like baseball, softball.
I guess for me, I don't know. I kind of always like me and my sister, because she also plays softball in college too at Purdue Northwest. But my parents had us do like we did travel basketball, travel volleyball, and travel softball like all through like from middle school to high school. So it was a lot. Like we were busy, but then at the end of the day, there was one year, and I was just, like, kind of like softball the most, and I ended up coming to college for it, too. But my dad and my mom just were like, well, if you like playing all 3, like, go ahead. But then me and my sister both were like, well, I feel like we're better at softball. So we ended up choosing softball that way.
Yeah, it's always good to play multiple sports growing up, to experience everything and then pick the one that you like. So that's awesome.
I'm such an advocate for, like, multi-sport athletes. I think it gives you such a well-rounded approach, like, as an athlete, like, and sports will aid in each other, like, and that kind of stuff. Like, they're transferable skills with, like, pretty much anything.
Yeah. So, we talked about your teammates, like, breakout moment, like, first big hit. You guys remember your first hit or first at-bat? Like, first home run, anything memorable like that when you first started playing freshman year? You guys remember when you had that first at-bat? Were you guys nervous? What was that like?
Well, my freshman year, my coach loved to pinch hit me with 2 outs in, like, the bottom of the 7th.
That's brutal.
I would be kind of, like, nervous, but then I'd go up there, But I do remember it was, like, the first game she put me in, and we were playing MSOE, and my dad, he showed up to our game super early, and he was dressed in, like, Carthage gear, and everyone's like, who's this guy? Because he was carrying, like, 2 grocery bags, because I always ask for food or whatever. Mm-hmm. So my dad's just standing there. Our game was at 4. My dad got there at 2:30, so he beat us on the bus. And everyone's like, who's that guy? I was like, oh, that's my dad, I came in to pinch hit, and I got a hit, like, a little blooper, like, up the middle. But it was just cool because, everyone was cheering. And honestly, like, the video will pop up on Facebook because my dad posted it. But, like, that's something I'll never forget. It was really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, I had a rough start to my freshman year. Like, I was shocked that coach even, like, played me the rest of my freshman year because we had, like, 2 scrimmages, like, very early on in fall ball of my freshman year. It was at Parkside, and we played Parkside, and then I think it was Concordia, Wisconsin, which, like, are 2 better teams. Like, Parkside's Division II, and Concordia, Wisconsin is, like, consistently up there. So I remember just being so nervous, and then I went 0 for 6. And I was like, I'm never seeing the field again. This is terrible. And luckily, coach had some faith in me, and I got my at-bats in Florida, and, like, I started hitting. And I just remember, like, talking to one of our upperclassmen, Sarah Bennett, at the time, like, later on in the season. And I was, like, kind of, like, talking to her about, like, I was like, I was shocked that, like, coach kept giving me opportunities after that start, because I was like, I wouldn't have, like, if I were her. And she goes, yeah, like, I'm not going to lie to you. I was kind of shocked, too, because we were all kind of like, where'd she come from?
I was too, I'll be honest.
It was brutal, but I think it was like a rude awakening of like, okay, like nothing is promised in this sport, but it's a game of failure, and I think that that's something I've really come to terms with recently, and like just I played so uptight like that first outing, and I think that had a lot to contribute with the lack of success. So
yeah,
I've learned since that I can't play like that, and obviously it's worked out okay since.
Well, it's good to have your teammates back somewhat, I guess.
Hey, they're gonna be honest.
But it's good to, I mean, obviously have a coach that believes in you still, and then having a coach that throws in the fire but still believes in you, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to get those lumps out of the way early, but then I'm sure that's helped you as a player.
Yeah.
Learning how to play through the pressures and everything. So.
Absolutely.
What do you think is? Okay, this is an interesting question. What do you think is a skill in softball that's especially underrated or overlooked, or harder than it looks? Like for me, like if I'm watching softball and I say, oh, that's like so too easy, but then when you guys actually play, like, no, that's actually really hard.
Honestly, I feel like hitting a rise ball. Like, everyone has a comment about, like, hitting a rise ball or stuff. Like, oh, I'd hit that, like, 250. We get those comments all the time. But honestly, I feel like when there's, like, our pitchers, too, like, the way all their balls move, like, so differently and stuff. Like, sometimes, like, when we have, like, batting practice in the cages, I'm like, I have no idea how to put the barrel on that. But, like, you just kind of, like, we obviously have the timing down because we've been hitting for so long. But the way, like, the balls move in the batter's box is, like, so underrated. Like, people do not understand like how the ball is moving and how fast it gets to you. I think is something.
Yeah. I feel like the obvious answer is pitching, like underhand pitching. I feel like so many, especially like what she was saying about like there are so many guys like in the comments of like Instagram reels that are like, oh, I could do that. Like that's so easy. Like why is she only throwing like 60 miles an hour? It's like I would love to see you try and throw 60 miles an hour underhand.
If I try to do that right now, it would not look good.
I think the more like niche like skill answer that you're like mentioning is like catching a fly ball. And I think it's so funny, like, when we do, like, our, like, more, like, laid-back practices where we're just, like, doing front toss out in the field, and we have, like, the catchers and the infielders, like, out in the outfield shagging, and all of a sudden I realize, like, oh, wow, not everyone could play outfield. Like,
the ball just stops midair. Like, I'm, like, hoping it's right to my glove, but it's usually behind, like, 10 steps behind me.
You're just hoping and praying, just
She's taking her glove off and just, like, chucking it up in the air.
I mean, you were a pitcher for a while, so I'm sure you didn't have
it's different.
development of those fly balls.
I mean, I played right field when I was 10, but after that, I literally never left out infield, so.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And see, I was I was similar in the way that, like, I didn't really see my way out into the outfield until, like, later on in high school. Because I played first base my freshman year of high school, and then they were like, no, you're going out there. But, yeah, it's difficult. I still can't always catch a fly ball properly.
I mean,
we saw that in North Central.
So then, I guess speaking on that, what are your guys' favorite plays to make in the field?
Oh,
like if that happens in the game, like it's so satisfying. That's the play.
For me, at first, my favorite thing ever is like when I pick a ball, like and like it's like a ball in the dirt, and I pick it in the game. I think I just feel like I look like a really cool person. I was gonna say something else. I don't know if I can say that. But yeah, it's just fun and in the moment. Like it gets me like pumped up too, or like. My favorite thing, too, also is, like, if I make a diving play, the rare occurrence that I dive and it actually looks fine, but, like, it's fun. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would say, I mean, like, diving plays are sick.
Sure, yeah.
I would say, like, as an outfielder, it's definitely, like, throwing someone out at home. Like, getting that assist, like, is so awesome. And then you get to, like, run in and, like, celebrate and, like, everyone's screaming. Like, it's awesome. Yeah. Claire's done it a few times this year, and it's awesome. My dream play, though, would be to rob a home run. I don't think I'd ever shut up about that if I ever did that. Like, you would never hear the end of it from me. I would be bringing it up in every conversation.
Would you rather rob the game-winning home run or hit the game-winning, like, walk?
Rob
it. Hit it.
No, rob it. That is so... No.
I don't play outfield, and there's no way I'm jumping over the fence. There's no way.
Imagine the walk back, though. You rob it, and you're, like, hiding in the glove, and, like, did she catch it? And
Yes!
And then you walk all the way back.
I've seen the MLB players do that, and I'm like, dude, like, that is just, like... Because, like, sorry, like... hitting home runs, yes, awesome, cool. But, like, being able to say that you robbed a home run, like...
But, like, the bat flip, like, walking around the bases, though.
Right.
See,
That's tough, too.
I had
That's
this
tough,
conversation in the dugout, though. Every time I've ever hit a home run in my entire life, I've never known that it was a home run, like, off the bat. So I always am, like, sprinting to first. And I get, like, clowned by people. They're like, why are you, like, running so fast? Like, you knew it was over. I was like, I didn't. I genuinely didn't.
Probably why you have so many doubles.
Dude,
Bounce
probably.
off the fence, you're already at second. So you're good to
Well,
go.
there's one time in high school, I think it literally, like, cleared our scoreboard, and I still, like, you can see me in the live stream, like, hard rounding first, and, like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. So I've never been able to bat flip.
I definitely have never bat flip, but I've definitely given, like, the pitcher a look. Like I said, I tend to kind of be a little bit too aggressive sometimes in games, but
She's
that's fine.
competitive. We'll just say she's
competitive.
competitive.
Not aggressive.
Spirited.
Not aggressive.
Spirited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enthusiastic.
Competitive.
Passionate.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to
We'll
say.
take those. Not aggressive.
Pulling out all the adjectives.
Okay. Are you guys ready for this special segment?
Yes.
You ready for this special segment? Okay. So, I believe you guys have come prepared with your plans here, but we're going to do a dream team draft selection show, whatever you want to call it. So, we each have our teams. We have all the lineups on the field, and you can pick whoever you want. You can pick real people, fictional characters. Use your imagination. We've assembled our list for our teams here. So, we're just going to go around, pick the teams, and then whoever has the best team wins, I guess. We'll see. So,
Dude,
Good luck.
I already know Izzy's is better than mine. Okay. Do you want to start us off?
I can start us off. Sure.
Let's see the knowledge.
Do you want to start? Let's start with. Should we start with pitcher, or should we save that for last?
We can save that for last.
Let's save that for last. All right. How about let's start in the infield. Let's go first base.
Okay.
So my first baseman is gonna be. I'm gonna go with the Hulk.
Oh,
The Incredible Hulk.
That's a good one.
We were throwing him around last
Yeah.
night. We were like, oh, I feel like he's got to find his way into our lineup. And I don't think he did for either of us. That's a
Really?
good
That's a good
option,
one.
though.
That's
I'm talking like Hulk, not the
yeah.
Bruce Banner.
Oh,
If
yeah.
he like goes back in mid game, I'm gonna be pissed. He's coming out.
That's why he's not a good fit out there.
He switches back,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Then I'll just beat him
nobody.
with the baseball and go back up. We'll be good. I guess I will figure it out. All right, what
Start
do you guys
smack
got?
talking him until he turns back.
Hulk smash.
I have Prince Fielder from the Brewers. I grew up watching him, and
Yeah,
I
he's an
just
OG.
love him. I still I'll get TikToks of him on my For You page, and there's that one clip of him stealing a nacho out of a random fan's nachos as he's running out in the field, and the announcer's like, "Did Prince just take a nacho?" And I've thought about that for my entire life, but I love him, and he hits bombs. So
He does hit bombs.
I'm putting Anthony Rizzo. I'm a diehard
Anthony
Cubs
Rizzo,
fan.
okay.
Yeah, and he was the heart of our team at the time, and I just love that dude. So that's my first.
Okay. Second base. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't pick any real people. I put myself in right field. Spoiler alert. I picked all fictional characters. So we're just gonna keep
that's
rolling.
perfect.
So second base, I'm going with Rey from Star Wars.
ooh.
I don't
Rey.
know. Star Wars.
Oh, she doesn't know Star Wars.
No,
I know
sorry,
Star
sorry.
Wars. That's
Okay,
a great
well,
choice.
Second
choice.
base.
Dude,
Yeah.
she's gonna be your hardest worker out there.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
that's a solid option. For second base, I put my little sister. Listen, she wanted a shout out, and I said fine. I
Give
threw
her
her
a shout out.
a bone,
Yeah.
but she does play second base sometimes. But she's more for the vibes. She's funny.
Yeah.
But that's literally her only qualification.
She made the team,
She's
but
a mediocre infielder, but she's great.
For my second baseman, I put the Rizzler. I feel like he's so underestimated. I know he
Dude.
could literally get out there and hustle after a bunt too. He would cover first base like no other.
Okay, but imagine first baseman crashes for a ball, and he's the one at first base.
He's got it.
No, he does
Yes.
the
not.
Rizzler.
Yep.
No, he
Oh
does
my
not.
gosh. Do you think he should be more focused on rizzing people up, or
And
actually?
he'll distract them, and that's how we'll win.
You have high hopes.
I see the approach you guys are taking to your teams early on, so this is good. I love it. All right, shortstop. I'm sticking with my fictional character. I'm going Bugs Bunny. I
That's
feel like he's got a lot of tools in his kit.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of like team leader at shortstop, leader of the Looney Tunes.
Mhm.
You know, that's my shortstop.
That's good.
Yeah.
He has good comms, yeah. For
Great
shortstop, I put Augie Schmidt.
The baseball coach.
Just because I think he's awesome. I heard stories of him growing up from my dad, and they are not tame stories. And I think he would just be a great personality to have on the field, and never a dull moment with him.
He played in the league, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he was around the
Yeah,
major league?
he
Okay.
was like the best baseball player like in the world at one point. He had like
Are you
the
serious?
I can't remember the award
Wow.
that he got, but
Silver Spikes, I think.
yeah,
I don't know if
yeah,
that's
something
right.
like that,
Yeah.
something spikes, but
That's
yeah,
cool. I never knew that.
he was crazy,
Yeah, he was insane.
yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a shortstop. So
So you got the ball knowledge I have no idea about, so this is good.
yeah,
Okay, good. All
I
right.
put Derek Jeter, the captain. Just he's the man, and he was like one of my favorite baseball players growing up. So
He's a goat.
yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
love him.
Okay, nothing's getting past him for sure. Okay. Third base. I was debating. Okay. When I think of third base, I don't know if this is accurate at all. I think of someone who's kind of got a little edge to them, maybe a little, not like attitude, but they're kind of trash talking and they're a
Oh,
little more
right.
invested.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I picked the Grinch.
That's valid. That's pretty good.
I feel like
That's
the
good.
Grinch, he probably has a cannon. He's underrated strong. Like he lifted the sled and
yeah.
he's a little pissed. So
Yeah.
that's my third base.
Yeah.
Dude. He'd be like a very intimidating third
Yeah.
baseman to have
That's what I'm
out
saying.
there. Like if I was like the third base coach, I'd be staying far away from him. For third base, I have Chris Farley from like Tommy Boy. Listen, just because like I think he'd be good. I low-key think that he would eat up those ground balls. Like hot corner, like
For
I
sure.
think he has
Yeah,
it
yeah.
on lock. I just have high hopes in him.
Chris Farley, he's probably got some pop in that bat too.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
If he connects, it's going far.
Dude, yeah. Like his swing, I low-key think his form would be terrible, but he's one of those guys where like if he even like nicks it with the
Yeah.
bat, it's 450. Like,
He probably launches it when he's going to go and say, oh, baby,
Yeah.
that was
yeah,
clutch," or
he's gonna
something.
hit a nuke and then like pull his hammy around his face or something. Like yeah, no, I think he's
Oh, my
great.
God.
Okay, for my third baseman, I put Jack Black, but him as Nacho Libre. I feel like it'll be undeniable, and I just love Jack Black. So.
And, like, that's, like, the wrestling one, right?
Right, yeah,
With
and-
the wrestling
Yep.
Yeah,
attire
Yep.
on?
yeah.
Her dad has a Nacho Libre cap that he has
yeah.
brought
Oh,
to
like-
Florida multiple times
His
now.
Firebird mask. Yep.
Gosh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, how about left field? Left field, I had Elastigirl from Incredibles.
It's a great.
That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm going with some cheesy picks here, but I
No,
feel like
that's
Valid.
perfect.
talking about robbing home runs,
Yeah,
you could hit
she's
it
got it,
30
yeah.
feet over the fence, you could probably get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
She could probably cover that whole outfield. Like you probably wouldn't even
Yeah.
need anyone else.
Yeah?
My left fielder is Jackson Churio from the Brewers.
Oh, he's good.
He's awesome. He's had a great start to his major league career, and every time he does something cool on the Brewers, my dad will text me and remind me that we're the same age. So he likes to keep me humble,
It's
and
sad.
you know what, I can.
We're at that point where they got all these young players
Oh
coming
yeah,
in. You're like,
oh yeah.
You guys
doing
are
this,
still
this,
younger
this.
than me.
But like,
I know, but
but
it's
like
like-
watching the
even
Olympics
those-
and
Yeah.
there's like 17-year-olds, and I'm like, man.
Even wasn't there like a 14-year-old gymnastics on
Yes,
the US
that was
gymnastics
crazy.
team?
Yes,
She's
like
good too.
yeah. If you ever want to feel worse about yourself, just watch professional athletes at this point. Like, and you're like, yeah, me and my D3 program against the world.
For my left fielder, I put Jake Shane. I don't know if you know who that is. He's this podcaster. He's hilarious. My team, I kind of base it off of more like team morale. Like, we're all bonding out there.
They're gonna be a great dugout to be around.
For sure.
What about Mr. Shane that you like?
I don't know. I feel like he would just be like having fun out there. He wouldn't be negative. He'd cheer up his teammates too.
Okay,
And
good.
I feel
Yeah.
like he'd surprise people out there because he does Pilates. So. I don't know. I feel like he'd surprise people. Like more flexible than they think.
I feel like none of those skills correlate to softball.
They do.
I mean, you
There's
just like
gotta be some.
a diving, splitting catch. I don't
Thank
know.
you.
dude.
Thank
Something.
See, he should have been your first baseman.
It's
Then.
applicable.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could have been doing Pilates at first. Okay, center field, another kind of cheesy, sweaty pick. I picked Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Sonic
Yep.
the Hedgehog. I don't think anything's getting on the ground with him there, but
No. And see, I went into a similar sense with my center fielder. I have the Roadrunner, so
good.
talk about
Yeah,
Looney
that's a good
Tunes
pick.
crew.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that they've got it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Roadrunner's got the whole outfield as far as I'm concerned.
It's a good pick.
I put Claire Butler because honestly, her stats.
I was thinking about
There's
picking her
no
to be honest.
beating
too.
that. I
but
know.
her stats, but also like I just want to see her interact with these people in real life too. I think that'd be fun.
She's
Yeah.
Wait, who have you picked so far?
My team.
Yeah, wait,
It's
just for
like-
like her interacting
like-
with them.
I want her to meet like Jack Black, like them two. I would be like so curious, like them two and like
Wow.
the Rizzler, Claire. I don't even know what she would bring up, but I think it'd be fun.
dude. She would like hate that. Like she would hate every part
I
of
think
that.
she'd love it. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, in right field, I have myself and the dream team.
Perfect.
There you go.
There we go.
Not much else to be said.
Your reputation speaks for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. My right fielder is, I don't know his name, but it's the guy on the Savannah Bananas that's always in the giant stilts. And I have him out there for the sole purpose of he's just going to stand along the fence and rob home runs.
So you've got him, Roadrunner, and who was the other one? Jackson Churio.
A normal
Pretty
individual.
solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see, like, that's why I felt like with the Roadrunner in center, I could give up kind of that right field role to just have him, like, along the fence line.
Yeah.
Because Roadrunner's, like, basically got the whole right half covered as is.
Okay. Okay.
I put Will Ferrell as mine. Did you ever
Will
see that
Ferrell.
sports documentary he did?
What?
He played, like, on 10 different baseball teams. He played 10 innings, and he played every position.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember if he got a ball hit to him in right field, but...
I gotta see that.
It would be pretty good, I feel like.
I gotta
feel like
see
he's a good
that.
athlete. He can DJ, so something's got to correlate.
I've never...
What can Will Ferrell do, to be honest? Like, he can do
Exactly.
everything.
That's what I'm saying.
All I'm thinking of him is in semi-pro, right?
Yeah.
Because he was in that basketball movie, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. That's
With the
all I
afro,
can picture.
the headband.
Yeah. Or, like, him as, like, Elf, like, the buddy.
Yeah. He's got rhythm, so gotta be able to catch a fly ball.
got
and do
rhythm.
it.
Wait, what does that have to do with the...
You know,
Yeah.
like the timing, like the outfits
Okay.
are always
No.
talking about timing to catch the ball.
Dude.
So I feel like Will Ferrell would have
See,
that.
Claire can catch a fly ball. I don't think she can hold a tune at all. Like, so
Never know.
I don't know if those things correlate.
Never know.
Do we want to do a DH? Did you guys plan for DH?
I do have a DH.
Okay.
Do you have a DH?
I do have... Oh, wait, we have... Yeah, DH, then we'll do pitcher catcher for
Okay,
last two.
yeah.
DH, I think I'm going to go with... Give me Shrek. Give me Shrek.
Okay.
Give me the
That's
ogre
perfect.
Shrek down in the swamp.
Yes. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
He's got that unlocked. I could see him batting cleanup.
For
Just
sure.
being
Yeah, I would hope so. Otherwise,
I would think so, yeah.
he's getting out of there.
You don't want him as leadoff?
Yeah.
My DH, I have Happy Gilmore.
Oh, I love that.
You know that dude rakes. Like, there's nothing more to say about that. Golf club, baseball bat, same thing.
I heard they're making a second Happy Gilmore movie.
I saw that. Yeah, Bad Bunny's in it. That's just a
I
fun
don't-
fact. I don't know.
Of course you know
Oh,
that.
my gosh.
I don't think I want to see it. I feel like
Why not?
I feel like it's too late for a sequel. Like, why can't they just
You
leave
don't
a
wanna
good
ruin
thing
the-
as a good thing?
Ruin the
That's
memory of what
valid.
it
Yeah. Yeah, like the OG is so good that I'm like, there's
Yeah.
no way
Yeah.
that the second movie can like match it or top it. But
It could be Sad
who knows?
Gilmore. We never know. Second movie, but...
Depressed Gilmore.
Amy Gilmore, our coach.
She makes a guest appearance. She comes walking out in her braids.
All right, Izzy, what do you got for DH?
I put Jocelyn Allo. She's like the D1, like she leads in home runs. Like she broke the record, and her swing is like the prettiest swing I've ever seen in my entire life.
So she's legit.
She's
Mm.
legit.
She's legit.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
played
She's
on the
crazy.
Savannah Bananas for a little bit.
She hit, and
What?
she got a hit up the middle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's awesome.
bad.
So you guys know, like, all these people, I'm just picking cartoon characters.
No, but like your picks have been
They're
solid.
valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, okay. Let's go catcher, then we'll finish this pitcher. So catcher, I picked, I don't know if you guys are a fan, but I picked the Dragon Warrior Po from Kung Fu Panda.
That's her middle name. Po is her middle name.
Is it actually?
Shout out, yeah. Yeah.
That's
but
cool. That's actually cool.
I literally said, we were like, oh, like, we're probably not drafting a coach, but, like, who would you want as the coach on your team? And I said Shifu from Kung Fu
Shifu,
Panda.
Master
like,
Shifu?
The guy
Yeah.
with the mustache. I don't know what he is, but he's lit. And I think he has some, like, good insight. Like, you know.
Shifu Master with the turtles, Master Uguay.
Oh, I love that movie. It's a great
Yeah,
movie.
it's elite movie series
For
too.
sure.
So
That's why we get along.
that's
so
my
well.
catcher.
Okay, my catcher, I have Dottie Hinson from A League of Their Own. She, like, it's a movie about, like, this, like, all-female, like, baseball league that they had, and she was, like, my favorite character, and I just think it's awesome that she's, like, the older sister and her younger sister also plays in the league, and they, like, bicker all the time, and I'm like, oh my god, that's me.
For my catcher, I put my little sister. Because she
Okay.
wanted a shout out. But
She wanted a shout out,
She
there we
wanted a
go.
shout out, but also, like, I mean, just the way she is behind the plate, too. Like, she's super, like, strategic. And me and her play
Oh.
very different. So, like, I'm super passionate. You can tell how I'm feeling a mile away. With her, you can't read her. But she's, like,
Got a poker face
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
She scares me a little bit.
I mean, do you want that as a catcher? I mean, that's probably not the
Yeah.
worst thing to have.
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah.
I
She
feel like
scares
out
me,
of-
too, and I live with her.
That's
Okay, pitcher. I had a couple options here, but I inevitably went with Gru.
Oh my
I
god,
was
from
Groot.
Despicable
Yeah.
Me.
From Despicable Me, he's got good length. I feel like that's
Yeah.
good for getting good whip or
Good
whatever.
stride, yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's got
Right.
kind of the upper body build. I'm sure he could pull like a freeze ray and do some weird strategies with that. So That's my pitcher, and he's probably annoying so to listen to on the mound. So
Oh
sure.
my
He's
gosh.
definitely
You know
talking.
he'd be talking
Yeah.
smack.
with his big nose, big nose. So yeah, that's my pitcher.
My pitcher, I went with the Flash, actually, because
Really?
I think he is gunning
Wow.
people on the mound. I think, like, because it has to translate. Like, if he's fast out, like, running, I feel like his whole body is moving fast, so he's just going to, like, chuck it on past
He's
you.
just gonna crank his arm like 1,000 times. And
Yeah,
speed it up
yeah,
and
he's
it's
gonna
like-
he's gonna sit there like this, yeah.
Wait, who's your catcher again?
Dottie.
Is she gonna be able to catch that?
She'll just stand off to the side. Like, she'll just let everything go to the backstop and go from there.
For my pitcher, she used to play in college. Her name's Odyssey Alexander, but she just, like, when she was out there, like, her demeanor and stuff was just so fun to watch. And, like, she had this crazy diving play. Like, this girl bunted and
Oh
she
my
went and
gosh.
she dove and she got her at home in the College World Series, like, on TV, and everyone was watching. She was just awesome to watch. I'd put her up.
They were like
Yeah.
the underdog team
Yeah.
too that year, and so like that was crazy. And people in the comments were like, "She's getting scouted for every top program right now."
Yeah.
But yeah, she's crazy.
Do you think pitchers are known for like the athleticism and making those type of plays, or are they generally more of like just they can pitch, but if they can field it, that's an added bonus?
I think pitchers being a good fielder is an added bonus, but I think it's more common in softball than it is in baseball. I would
For sure,
say.
yeah.
Okay.
But like. It also is, it's tough, like, when you're throwing overhand, or underhand like that, and then trying to throw overhand for a play and stuff like that, like, it can,
Oh, yeah,
it
that's
can
yeah,
get in
good
your
point.
head, like, especially, I don't know, like, that whole throwing stuff, like, that always threw me
Yeah.
off as a pitcher. But yeah, I think it's definitely, like, an added bonus. I don't think it's, like, a prerequisite of being a pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, all pitchers, too, like, their reaction time is insane.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's just,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how fast it comes back to. Sometimes, like, the balls are hit, and I have no idea. Like, I'm just running to first, and I'm like, oh, it got to the pitcher, and I just kind of go back there. But it's crazy, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got the Flash as a pitcher
Yeah.
there,
His reflexes, everything's going to be in
Yeah.
slow
Yeah.
motion.
and you got someone making diving plays,
Right.
so that's sweet.
There we go.
Well, that concludes our D team or Dream Team draft.
Yeah.
That's all I have for you guys. Is there anything else you guys want to say before we wrap up here?
I'll just shout out my dog. My parents already do that.
Who's your guys' next game? Who's your guys' next game?
We,
Elmhurst.
yeah, play
Elmhurst,
Elmhurst
okay.
tomorrow. But
Okay.
our next home game is this Wednesday against Carroll, and we're going to be doing a little small thing for our coach's 600th win
cool.
at that
Oh,
game. So
okay.
Yeah.
if people
Awesome.
want to show up for that.
Well, you guys have a lot of home games coming up, though.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
finally.
So come out, show out to the home games. They got a lot coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We got a really good, fun Carthage team this year, so show out for the team. Otherwise, thanks for joining the show, and I really appreciated having you guys on. This was a lot of fun. So
Yeah, thanks for
thanks
having
for having
us.
us.
absolutely.
That's
So
great.
stay tuned for future episodes, guys, and thank you for listening to Fueling the Flame. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Go Birds.